Hello everyone, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. Of course, our week starts Tuesdays, 8 p.m. with Riff's Ballad of Fate. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, at 1 p.m. EST, is Kingdom Hearts Dreams of Nobody. Thursdays at 8 p.m. EST is Beyond the Void. And Fridays at 8 p.m. EST, it's Millennium Nights Turbo Jungle. We always hope that you stop by and check out those games as well. We also have an announcement. If you're not in the Discord and haven't seen, we now have merch. You can purchase from the link in the chat, or if you head over to nerdswithdice.threadless.com, or you can find the link in the Nerds with Dice Twitter bio. That is everything.
All right. Thank you, Nerdy. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Riffs, a game where everything has exploded, but this group has come together to try to find some semblance of reality in a world gone off the hinges. All right. So let's go around and introduce ourselves super quick so we can just get that through. Unfortunately, Evan is not able to join us tonight, so we're going to start with Freya.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I play Freya, who is a spy. She's also a Night Bane, which means I also play Rohan, an 8-foot-tall, scaled, angelic type being that has a 20-foot wingspan and a flaming sword.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Greeks.
Hi, I'm Ting, and I'm playing Greeks, goblin-looking DB That's also a side tech.
All right. And Peppermint.
As I am playing Peppermint, our nature mage slash healer.
Okay. So, where we previously left off, the group had discovered a factory that existed both on this side of the mirror wall and the other one. The mirror wall is the barrier that separates the Nightlands from other realities. Here, the mirror wall is quite thick, but Rohan found himself able to cross it. Yes, to cross it. Apparently, my words just aren't coming together tonight. And so the group is planning on exploding a factory that exists on both sides, so that they can stop the production of mirrors here and the production of hounds coming from the Nightlands. And they decided that they would stop by Merktown, the mercenary hub in the middle of North America, located in a town called Paducah. I believe it's Tennessee. Might be Kentucky. I forgot to pull up my map. But where is it? There it is. And so they were traveling with Yolanda, a Nightbane who's kind of taken a mentor role to Rohan. And we're approaching Paducah. Yeah, it's in Kentucky. Okay. As you come up, you see a number of planes flying overhead. There's a lot more air traffic here than many other places, and it's all different styles of planes. You see biplanes that look shiny. You see what looks to be a very slow-moving B-52 bomber coming in for a landing. You see a bunch of people in jetpacks, and you see a wizard on a techno-wizard hoverboard sky surfing up above. All of them are pretty much armed. A couple of them appear to be some kind of local security force. You're coming in from you're headed west, and just south of the city you can hear large explosions, which, if anyone knows, this time of day you're kind of in like around 11 o'clock you're getting there, I think. I lost track of what time it is. So, yeah, you had to travel. You're getting there around 11-ish. And those of you who have been here before know that there is just south of the city is the training grounds, where such explosions are common. As you get closer and closer, you can see there is a giant city, big walls, with some of which topped with gun turrets spread out from the city. Let me look at my map real quick of the city so I can give you a rough description of it. The city is mostly made of MDC materials. Even from this far away, you can see that. You can see skyscrapers spreading above some of the walls, including what looks to be a large hotel and a couple of big buildings that look a little hive-like. Let's see, number 8 was didn't tell me. Okay, so, and there is a little bit of an airport where you see a bunch of those planes landing to the west of the city. You cross over the Ohio River, and you come into a line of what look to be different kinds of caravans. You see a series of APCs that have Megaversal Legion spray painted on the side. You see what looks to be a semi-tractor trailer with hover treads, with the Psy-Cola logo on the side. There's a number of just what look to be smaller farmers bringing in goods on literal wagon, like horse and wagon buggies, as well as just a large kind of, you see what looks to be a 20-foot tall 4-armed man, or 10-foot tall 4-armed man. I forget how big they are. Why is my brain leaving me? Yes, you see what is sometimes known as a Rahu man. covered in armor. Oh, I was just on the page when I was like, screw it, I'll go to the index. There it is. Rahuman is... Let's see. Size. Where's your size? Size 12 to 15. 15 foot tall, giant, kind of bronzish skin, like literally bronzish, metallic tinted. Wearing what looks to be the plate of an ancient knight, but their boots are modern, with a layer of, like, instead of like just solid metal boots, they have the overboot of the old plate, but underneath you can see what look to be some kind of handcrafted but with modern machinery. Something that would definitely be a special order kind of boot. He's also wearing a backpack that is sized for him with a number of railguns strapped to it. He has 2 railguns, one on each side, and a two-handed sword in his back. It's two-handed if you're 15 feet tall. Just waiting behind a bunch of people headed into town. As you get closer, is there anything that that Freya would like to tell the rest of the group about the town?
So Greeks.
Yeah.
Not sure. I'm still not sure all that you do. I don't know if you hack or not. If you do, you need to be extremely careful because there are plenty of people like that, and you might get. There's always that, like, people want to take you on sometimes sort of deal that way. So just be prepared. That way. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And let's see. So my connections are like I'm not really like I'm not known in all the bars. I'm not like with like big people. I learned more about Merktown working as a janitor in various office places than you could by going to all the bars. So I like to keep a low profile. I like to blend in. Now, in looking like we do, we're still going to blend in because Merktown has, if you can think of it, Merktown probably has it. So just, I like to be observant and cautious and just sort of, sometimes I'm not the first one to talk. Sometimes listening first goes a long way. So yeah.
When janitors have access, do you still have keys?
Well, yes.
But does it mean you still have them and that they still work?
Yes. Like, it might not work, but I basically know the people who live there. There's always like the tourist things and the people that see, but there are real people who actually have to live and work in Merktown. People they overlook, like my main contact, Danica. She's a clerk. People overlook her, but she can hold you up for hours by misplacing a comma or telling you that the form has changed when maybe a word has changed and all that type of thing. That's what she can do. And that's who I know. I know them.
Oh no, bureaucracy.
Yes. Look, doesn't matter. There's always paperwork.
Right. the town is a bustle as you get into the up to the front gates. You see the local security, which is called the it is run by the Tennessee Headhunters, but I believe they are just Merktown Security. Yeah, Merktown Security or Merktown Defense Force. And they are at the wall, and they are when the big Rahu man with the multiple, you know, railguns comes up. They pull him to the side. They have him put his railguns in some kind of giant container, and they hand him a little receipt, and they have him make an impression on what looks to be some kind of tablet, and he goes into the city. Does anyone have any major explosives on them?
No. Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
They don't like big weapons.
I don't
I
think
don't have
so.
Well,
anything.
yeah. Well, we're here to get explosives.
Ah,
Don't
yes.
have any on that.
Yeah. As you're all coming in, Kid is with you, and they stop him and go, "Hey, what's with the giant hammer?" And he's like, "Oh, I use it for work." And they're like, "Okay, but if we see any trouble, we know what to look for. We'll find you and we'll make you regret it." The law here in Merktown is loose-ish. The security forces do a decent job. It's a lot safer than many places, but each individual area kind of has their own gang or mercenary group that kind of keeps it safer, except for the areas where they, don't, because the mercenary group in charge is rougher, or, a bunch of demon worshippers. The parts There's a couple different parts of the city. It is pretty busy. The streets are extra wide. The buildings are tall. Everything is well maintained, though. It looks like there are people paying for cleanup of the city. You don't see a lot of people who look like they're just wandering around the streets. There are people who are there mostly to do business. There are some who are traveling through. You see a lot of mercenary-looking people or adventurer-looking people. You pass by a number of people in power armor that appears to be... Greeks could tell that it has a couple of inhibitor chips on it to stop any of the major weapons from triggering easily. I mean, it would take you a little bit like an action, or maybe about 6 to 15 seconds to undo one of those, but it's just a break on the thing. You do see a number of Borgs, juicers, cynetics. There are DBs of all kinds. You see people who are clearly practitioners of magic. You see an ogre walking by, just a 9-foot tall, carrying what looks to be part of a tree ogre, who's walking around having a nice conversation with the wizard that is floating around there, floating at the same height so that they can hear more clearly, and followed along by a cat person who is wearing a cloak. And a brief glance at them lets them hiss kind of back at you for staring. The streets have a number of hover vehicles mostly going through. There are people on bikes. There are people on sky cycles moving slowly. There are people on... You do have techno wizards floating above every now and then. It's not as common here as it is in Dwemer, but it does happen. Yeah. As you're traveling through, you get into the city pretty easily. Starting with, as soon as you kind of get through the gates, you all see Helix, the assistant for Exexa. And he goes, "Hey, hey, everybody."
Hey.
Yeah.
What?
What
The High
brings you
Magus
here?
needs the services of Mr. Kidd for a couple of hours to complete what Mr. Kidd requested.
Oh, sure. And well, We'll send the antlers with him.
What antlers?
The High Magnus asked for antlers from demon deer.
Of course he did. Paratons? Paraton antlers? Yeah, it sounds like something
Yes.
you'd need.
Yeah.
We actually got 2 pairs.
Okay. Obviously I'm not able to. What did he promise you? I've got a little on me, but I doubt he can.
Information. With
Okay,
him, it's always information.
well then, pretty soon, if you have a request, think of what you want. Do you want to hold on to it until you know what you want to ask of the Magus? Because he's I'm not gonna say he'll forget. But he'll forget.
We really don't know how long those animals are going to keep.
I mean, you just harvest, like, you have the whole animal?
Well, we have a head and then we have a whole one. We weren't really too sure. Maybe he could use some extra, or maybe.
No, he just needs the antlers, to be honest.
Okay.
He's not the kind of he won't want to see the head. It's a thing for him. So you're in Merktown. I mean, there are places that process such things here.
That is true.
So maybe when I come back with the kid, if you have.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe we can get some credits for those and just get the antlers, since he doesn't want the head, just the antlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like carrying the whole head back.
Yeah. Maybe there's some magic people might be interested in it.
Well, yeah. Just be careful.
Always.
The magic people here are
Yeah.
touchy. Well, give and take. Matters who you're talking to.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, last time we played the college here in football, it ended up in so many mage duels. Oh, it's
Okay.
football people, get over it.
We'll do that. We'll get it processed here and we'll just give him the antlers with no head attached.
Yes, thank you. That would make it much lighter for me to. I mean, better for all of us.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Kid. Oh, sure. And Kid goes off with Helix towards. There is a ley line not far from town, and Helix starts walking towards that with Kid.
That was a good impression of Evan.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, dude. That's my Evan impression. Just, dude.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay, so where should we go to sell this Paraton?
Okay. Also, another thing, real quick. Freya, your communicator is back online.
Yes.
And on the local network.
Mm-hmm.
Greeks, there is a local Wi-Fi.
Okay.
It is technically not free.
They charge by the minute or something?
They charge by the gig.
Do I have any messages?
Freya does have messages, yes. One of which says, if you need fixer, Job Market Cafe, which is the name of a place you've been before.
Mm-hmm.
It is a coffee shop where they keep, you know how people like put up guitar lesson flyers? And imagine a whole wall just with like bounties. And then another one with like miscellaneous kind of missions.
Yep.
So you can go and get a latte and a job. They also have very good pastries, very flaky dough. And there is a man, Fixer is the man there who is best at finding and connecting people and things.
Yeah.
You have worked with Fixer on good terms at least twice. Someone was looking for something or someone needed some kind of protection or a job that, was very clearly up Rohan's alley. and Fixer kind of set those up for you.
Okay.
Does that phone even connect to this network? The one I got from the other place?
It could.
Oh,
It does not have an automatic connection, though. You would have to log in and swipe a card or put some creds in.
Any other messages?
I'm trying to think what other messages there might be. You get a ton of spam messages
Course.
about like Eclipse, rechargeable Eclipse. Naruni sends everybody an email at least once a day.
Mhm.
the
Anything
Oh,
from
you can
Danica?
get Danica's sending you to Fixer, but no other
Okay.
no emergency things at the moment.
Okay.
But if you have some free time, she'd love to just like have a chat.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so you're traveling through the city. You know the Mage Quarter will definitely have a place that will process bones. No, that's the wrong place. You see a number of tattoo shops. You see pawnbrokers as you move through. You're in Dockside, so there's a construction site where it looks to be a large explosion tore through part of it. There's a moonshine company and a small dairy. Let's see. As you move through there, you then move towards. Where's my map? I should just open a second book with the map in
how
it.
does the moonshine smell?
The moonshine smells strong. It smells like it could be used for fuel.
Yeah. Freya's just like, wait a minute. You like that stuff because I really thought my eyeballs were going to melt. So
It's the closest to gasoline you've had in a intentionally fermented form. Like yeah, it's the moonshine is there's a little bar, there's someone handing out shot samples. And they are also armed. It is a young woman who appears to be partially cybernetic. And she puts the tray in front of you and says, "You may take one."
Yep, Greeks will take one.
All right. You down it, and your eyes well up a bit. It is, oh boy. You could light it on fire if you wanted.
Tears of
And
joy.
then, yeah, and you love it. It causes your eyes to water in the way you expect and enjoy. The woman, another person comes over to the woman and tries to grab another. She goes, "No, you've had one." And he goes, and it's a guy who's wearing like a juicer rig, but it looks a little loose on him. And he goes, "I'm getting another one." And then she literally throws him across the street into a building. He smacks into the side of the concrete wall of the dairy, and everyone kind of looks for a moment and then immediately goes back about their business.
Yeah. Do you sell? What's the largest size you sell?
We do have
Is it
barrels for 100 credits. We've got pints, or not a pint. What is it? A handle for 20. The handle being the liquor bottles with the handle. Those are the only two sizes we have. And we've got a bar attached if you want to buy individuals.
Yep. Greeks will take a handle, and I'll be back for a barrel.
You do that, and she gives you a customer service wink, like a "come back again." Because she makes a commission. All right. Oh yes, as you are looking through for, you got to go south through the city towards the magic zone to find the place that will process such things. You pass a large place that says Merktown Gymnasium, which just has a bunch of people that look like Muscle Beach outside. Just people of unbelievable proportions flexing and showing off of all kinds. Some aliens, like a Grackltooth who's just like flexing, and then a human woman who is smaller by size, but like about as bulky, just also in a flex off with the Grackltooth. Oh, there's the Mystic Quarter. What was the name of the place? So, in the Mystic Quarter, you come around. There is a place called. There's a million wineries, and you see a limousine business. You see a jewelry store. A number of health clubs. You pass a place that says Fine Gentlemen's Club, which looks to be a like stogie and sit around and talk about the stocks thing. Frey has actually been in there. It is the fanciest place. And there's Old Granddad's Pizza. You see Man's Best Friend, Pet Store, and Veterinary Office. Where is it? Cartographers, ham radios, spy gear. I lost it. Damn it. A first edition booksellers, you see. It says first editions only. You also see a number of Techno Wizard shops. Weapons, storage facilities, outer wall. No. I know this is thrilling. In the city, you don't see anyone. Like, you saw that one guy in power armor that had been mostly, put into a medium danger setting. You do hear a number of, like, you hear what is essentially a teen gang of what look to be cyborg monkeys running, causing havoc, being chased by one of the local militia or one of the local security. There are a number of fruit sellers along the route. The Bone and Marrow Shop is the place to get such things sold and processed. There are a number of hunters places that will do this as well, and might be less creepy. The Bone Shop is, true to its name, a place that sells literal bones. Out front, you see a thing that says thigh bones, another thing that says femurs, rib cages, and they are all different size rib cages. Some of dinosaurs, some that could potentially be human-sized. And there are certainly some that look to be skeletal, like red bone with claws, which could be demon claws. But inside is a little old man. He seems to be about 4 foot nothing. He is wearing a little pointed cap with no brim. He says, yes, what can I do for you?
Hi. Have a I have a demon deer. So I have two. Well, one's the head, and the other
Yes.
one's the full. All we actually need is the antlers, but hopefully we can come to an interesting deal, benefit both of us.
Well, their eyesight. He pulls out a what looks to be some kind of bestiary compendium. And he goes, well, demon deer periton, I believe they are also known as. Yes. The meat is not great. You didn't happen to find any eggs, would you? No?
No.
Okay, well, let us see the values. Definitely not alive. Yes, no. Let's see. Wings? You've got the wings of one?
We do, right? Because we had the full body of one.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes. We have, again, one head and one full body.
I will give you 50 for the wings, 10 for each leg. Did they speak to you at all?
Did they?
They did not.
No.
Oh, that is a shame. Their tongues have no value then. The eyes. I will give you 25 per eye.
All right.
Yes. Their poison will have been rendered inert by now. So what was that? 4 legs at 10 apiece. 4 legs. So that's 40.
Yes.
The wings, 50. So 90. 4 eyes at 25 apiece. So 100. 190. And the tongues were worthless and their meat is bad. But the antlers. I
Yes.
will give you 300 for the antlers.
I know, we need antlers.
We only need
actually
one
need
pair of
one
antlers.
pair.
What? That's true.
Then I will give you 150 or processing costs. Let's call it 100 for the 1 pair of antlers that you retain.
And these antlers will be clean, and the person just wants the antlers and none of the other things.
Do you have 10 minutes? I prefer you not. I prefer, or if you'd like, I could just take them off right now.
Sure.
Okay. He reaches onto one of them. His hands glow with a little bit. He mutters under his breath and snaps them off like they were wood. There's a sickening crack sound as a little bit of blood comes on him. He shakes them off with another small spell and hands them to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's easy when they've been dead for a bit.
Oh, do we know that the one doesn't have eggs inside of it?
No, they lay the eggs separately, and yes, need to be fertilized. Like they look like birds, but are somewhat lizardish in that regard. And actually, they look like deer. But you know, magic. I think. I don't know where they're from.
Well, I'm Freya. What's your name again?
Oh, my name is Bakili.
Easy.
Yes. We have a number of specimens if you're interested. The front showroom is our rather tamer section, and the outside stuff is stuff that will be easily recovered. If you'd like to see more of our wares, you can enter the back room if you care to. Yes.
Oh, I would like to.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Oh, are you interested in any specific area of pots?
I'm actually realizing that I could use some demon eyes.
Ah, we have demon eyes. We've got a number of them. Do you have a size preference? As he pushes back a curtain, you can see back there is just a series of werewolf heads. The skeletal jaw of some kind of humanoid dinosaur. A straight up crocodile head. What appear to be a number of arms with parts of flesh, like basically taken off from the sleeve of what look to be humanoid arms with tattoos, some of which are bigger than others. You do see what looks to be a demon's hand, and then another demon's hand next to it, and then another demon's hand next to it, and they're all entirely different. You see a pair of what look to be sharp, pointy teeth that say vampire fangs. All of this is under glass cases as well. They have a thing that says assorted tongues in like a pickling jar, like one of those big, like you buy pickles at the supermarket, like thing. Yeah, one of those just filled with tongues. And there is a basically jeweler's tray of demon eyes. And he brings it out and says, "Yes, is there any specific hue or type that you're looking for?" The smell in here is smells a little antiseptic. But it's not
what's on the
rotting.
tray?
On the tray here is a number of different eyes. There's definitely eyes of an imp. There is one basilisk eye. Let me find the list of demons. There is the eye of a Balrog. There is a Gorgon eye. Page 223. Let's see. And then there one that just says devils, and another one that says devilkin, and another one that says demons and demonkin. Let's see. A tiny pair of eyes, which look like little BBs, called Lasae, Lasae eyes. And, Alu eyes as well, which look kind of wolfen. And a number of ones that are just labeled devil eyes that appear kind of goat-like. All of which seem to be preserved somehow.
How much do you want for your imp eyes there?
Imp eyes are relatively inexpensive and will only cost you 200.
Only 200.
Yes.
What if we did a trade?
Well, you'd owe me 10.
Peppermint?
I mean, that's up to the group. I don't want to. I have goods I can trade as well if he's into that, but I don't want to take all of the group's trade here.
I can process credit. Trade might be haggleable.
And is this worth anything? And the Greeks will hold up the vial of devil eel saliva.
Bring it closer, please. Would you please open that? Do you open
Carefully,
it?
I'll carefully open it.
As you open it, a smell comes out that you didn't get before. He goes, no. Oof. I suppose if one were creating some kind of feculent device, maybe if someone was seeking intestinal troubles, I don't know, but please close that back.
Well, that's good to know.
Yes. Oh, well, your hands, are you partial to them?
Yes.
Yes, and you, green friend, with the webbed hands.
Great.
Greeks, yes, Greeks with your hands. They seem.
These are Greek sands.
Yes, I understand that, but would you like a different set? You could have, let's see, I do have humanoid replacements, and we could talk about some claws if you'd be interested, but I do have a buyer looking for webbed fingers.
No. Greeks will keep their hands.
No, well, if you, should you be willing to enter a small agreement upon your death, as long as it isn't this dimension, we could come to some arrangement.
I also have beeswax and honey that I blessed and imbued with small amounts of magic myself, as well as plenty of potions and elixirs.
I don't personally deal in potions and elixirs. You would probably get a better price for those at Simon's Shop of Uncommon Wonders, or potentially the Spider Bite. Yes. And your gills, green friend, Greeks. You are using them still?
The what?
Your gills! The membranes that allow you to process
Oh,
fluids as well as
yeah,
oxygens.
yes.
Oh, well then, unfortunate. Is your blood different than others? There might be money in it if you let me test it.
Hmm.
Just testing, correct?
Oh, yes, just testing. Mm-hmm.
No spells, no tracking, no.
Well, I would have to do some spells on it to see the magic resonant potential in the other kinds of, let's see, reactive properties of such uncommon vitae.
But that's all you would do.
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify that for you Greeks, just in case you were interested.
Yeah, how much do you need? And
I'd say about a pint.
you should
And
sign some sort of confidentiality paperwork.
oh, paperwork. I suppose I could draw up some. I would give you 10 credits for this.
10 credits for my blood.
Yes, for a pint of blood.
That seems like a lot.
I'm trying to think how much, like,
Don't humans have like only 4 pints?
humans have 8 pints of blood.
8
Mhm.
You would have probably a little bit less, maybe like 6. So this would probably, you'd need an orange and a laydown.
Yeah.
If everything went right.
Yeah, we got other stuff to do, so.
Well, the offer stands, should you be willing to discover your true worth.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the offer.
You're quite welcome.
So the demon deer parts and 10 credits for the eyes.
The eyes of an imp, yes.
Peppermint, are you all right with that?
I'm alright with that if everybody else is.
I am Greeks.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. I shall begin processing them as soon as you're gone. Okay, well, here they are, and he just pulls them out, but by hand. They're not fragile, the way he's handling them. If you had to guess, some kind of preservation spell has been cast on these. Basically, in Dungeons and Dragons terms, it would be I just blanked on the name of the spell I was going to reference. Yeah. Preserve corpse. I forget what it is. Gentle repose. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
He says, do be sure to do something with them in the next 20 years, or they may begin to degrade.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You want
And
do you want to drink to the deal? Hold up the moonshine.
Oh, no, thank you. I would not poison my liver thusly.
The Greeks will take a swig.
My body is a well-crafted temple.
And you've done a fine job.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for your business.
Should you perish in the city, please let them know that I am willing to buy your remains.
Well, keep that in mind. Thank you.
Please do. As you are leaving, you see a sign that says, "Tired of the same old legs? Used legs for cheap." That is in
Like
the book.
I imagine like there's like people with the Merctown ID have a donor card check
Yeah.
yes or no to
To sell
send
to
the-
Bones and what is it?
Yeah.
Bones and Marrow Shop. All right. So, your demon deer is taken care of. You stow the horns safely.
Yeah.
Um,
And Peppermint will take out like like an empty jar that probably once had honey in it, and she'll place the eyes in there, and then
okay. I'm sure you have a plan for that. As you walk around, as you are walking out, you do see a place called Third Eye Private Investigations, a magic shop called Uncommon Knowledge, and the Wizard's Chest. There's a billion different. They put out a whole book, so I have a billion different stores. If you are looking for anything, you can probably pick it up in this place. There's a TW weapons seller called Magefire Weapons. You remember seeing you see a flying, basically a techno wizard on a hoverboard, where the banner hangs down like a billboard underneath the hoverboard that says Naruni for all your needs. It says that at you
Yeah.
as it flies past.
Of course it does.
Yes, just in case you're illiterate.
Peppermint, do you need anything else?
no, I think I'm good.
I'm gonna say you can feel. I think you're on a ley line here. Yes, you're
Yes.
on a ley line, and there is a building that seems to be the focus of that ley line. It is a large walled building, and on it says the college. What was the name of it? The Merktown College of Magic or College Academy? Blech. Where is it? The Collegiate Arcane and Magic Guild. Yeah, Collegiate Arcane is the name of the building. There is clearly some kind of nexus inside that building. All right. So, is
Well-
there anything anyone's specifically looking for, or do you want to go meet with Fixer at the cafe?
I'd like to go meet Fixer.
Okay, number 30 to 19. As you're headed there, you pass by Mercenary Plaza, a building you have worked in. Mercenary Plaza is a 15-story building. It is very large. It holds a number of small offices and major offices for different groups, like the one you worked on very briefly called the Blackman Intelligence Resources, also known as the Blackman Agency, and the Cometis Security Group, as well as a number of other mercenary offices. And the entire first floor has something called the Megaversal Legion Special Services and Recruitment. You pass by the Naruni building and the swap market, a spa, the gymnasium again, and the job market cafe. There we go. As you go in, you see a squid person at the getting some kind of latte. Behind the bar is a tattooed, pierced barista who seems a little chipper. You see there is a man sitting there drinking his coffee at a table with a woman who looks like she's made of crystals, and he is wearing some kind of organic body armor as like a breastplate. And all of these people are armed. Everyone in here is well trained. You look around, you see what looks to be one of the what are they called? The Dwemer security forces guys, the Maguses, a controller Magus from the look of it. You see a tattooed man as well, and just a big shirtless guy with his hair in a ponytail, with his chin just up, pointy ears, just looking around the place at while his compatriots talk. You see a couple of people who just look like normal humans. You see one or two that appear completely just to be, you see what looks like a girl in just like a tracksuit. But as she moves, every now and then you can see seams on the tracksuit where there is some kind of like, that tracksuit is built into her somehow. You imagine briefly her, like, parts of the tracksuit lifting up and weapons coming out. There's a couple of dog boys around. There's any number of. There's an elf with dreadlocks. There's a man of crimson skin with little horns, little white horns, and a large kind of bulbous shaped head with other like little horns. Sitting and chatting with a woman with a kind of narrowish, kind of noseless, narrow, grayish face. And this is the job market cafe. On the board, there's a list for military jobs, recovery jobs, and the most wanted and still at large. There's a list for retrievals, and then there's another list for recoveries, and another list that says security needs, and another that says quests. It literally just says quests in a fancy script.
Hey, yeah, go in and look for Fixer.
All right. Fixer is the owner, so when he's around, he's generally like popping from table to table, talking to people. But as you settle in, do you get a coffee first, or do you?
Oh, yeah, having a
You know-
coffee.
Yeah. So the protocol with Fixer is you don't interrupt him, but when he sees you come in, he will come to you.
Mhm.
A new job shows up on one of the electronic boards. It says Artifact Recovery, Blu-ray DVD combo, Titanic, DiCaprio/Winslet. And it is listed at 10,000 creds.
Ooh. Wow.
There's Fixer is a man with a beard. He's kind of got that old guy look to him. He's been around. He's been a bunch of places. He's got a short cropped beard, white skin, bluish eyes, grayish hair, in kind of a. He looks like a guy that used to get a buzz cut all the time, but now has like grown it out. And he goes, "Hey, so, how can I? What are you looking for today? Were you? Wait, I'm terrible with names." And he's pointing at Greeks. He's like, "Morocco." No,
Nope.
you're not
No.
Morocco. Istanbul, was that it?
No.
No. Have we met before? This isn't a magic trick. I'm not about to like guess your card or anything.
Don't think so.
Oh. Huh. Okay. I see a lot of people through here, so please, sorry.
Hello, Fixer. I'm Freya.
Raya, yes. Yeah. So, I hear you're looking for some specialized equipment.
Yes.
Now what you're looking for is available through a number of means. And he sits down at your table. He like scooches. He does that thing where he sits down next to Peppermint close enough to make Peppermint scoot down. It's just like, all right. So, we got a couple of routes this could take. You're looking for. Did you say what you were looking for, or just that you were looking for equipment?
I would have.
think-
Yeah.
I think we would have
Yeah.
discussed it on the way to Merktown.
Yeah, I think I would have probably. Yeah, we would have talked about it, and then I would have
sent the
Sent.
message.
Yeah, sent a message just so we can.
It's like, okay. So you're looking for some explosive powers. We've got to be honest, magic can do such things, but I don't know. Then you're dealing with a mage. Some people aren't trusting of mages they don't know. Um, I think your best bet in such a situation would probably be physical explosives.
Yeah.
All right, good. So I've got a number of people I could put you in contact for that. Um, we have some recovered coalition material that could in bulk. It's not cheap because of the recovery. Um, Northern Gun, not a lot of supply, but it's not as expensive. Depending on how much you need. Triax, we have some imported German explosives. Again, hard to come by and a little more expensive. Though the cheapest explosive right now is going to be Naruni, and it's said to be more powerful. But your Naruni is also willing to put you on a payment plan.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
And then we could look at darker options, which might be able to get you more of a quantity. Maybe, says this quietly, might not be as reliable, but the black market does have, explosives.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're a
we're
little less choosy about sourcing.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get in, and we're hoping to implode, collapse the buildings.
All right. Do you have a demolitions expert?
I don't know what all kid out of game. I don't know what all kid can do. So
Kid, I think he said is not a demolitions expert. I believe he said last game he was not.
Yes, not.
I could check the sheet, but
And Greeks, you are.
Kind of.
all right.
Well-
Now, here's the thing: when you say kinda,
Yeah, that's not good.
it's not what you really want.
We got a guy. We got a guy who can point out weak spots, but it would be nice if we had
Okay. Quality.
quality.
Now, depending on who you go with, I also know someone who could provide you a, let's say, one-time use expert, or a smaller, more portable, but wouldn't require to be fed, travels very light. Assistant. I wouldn't call them a person, but an assistant.
I think for our situation, that would be more ideal.
Okay. All right. So,
Or yeah, or we just get better implosives so that we don't have to worry about
We
placement of explosives.
oh yeah, if you don't place them, you could get a lot more. Hell, if you're looking for bombers, I got bombers I could get you. They're not cheap, and they pay by the or charge by the ounce of fuel minute and dynamite level. What is it? Stick dynamite. However, explosions are measured. I don't know. That is not a cheap option, but if you want a place that to no longer exist and they don't know it's coming, I got some people I could contact. It's just you pay for what you get.
that is an option.
Yeah, I mean, it runs inherent risks of any flying mission where, sometimes you fly up and something takes offense to you being in the air and smashes you out of it. And there's
Right.
no refunds on this. I mean, you
Yes.
could buy insurance. You could go to the insurance agencies in town, which do exist, but it's a hefty premium. But if you want a bomber mission run, I can get you that for probably under $1 million, probably even under $500,000.
Well,
Plus my 5% fee.
of course.
So what is you?
That's
I guess we should have talked
that's out
budget
of our
first.
price range. That's a, isn't it?
Yeah, we should have talked price range
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Yes, it's just I thought we wanted to try to do this quietly. The last time we talked,
I
and
think
we also have another building that we need to send. We need to be able to send explosives and things to another place.
Okay, so you've got a secondary team in a different location
Yes.
pulling a simultaneous mission. It's
Yes.
okay. That's a thing that happens. Yeah, like
Yes.
that's not it's happens more than you'd think because
Yes.
banks are sometimes linked. And yeah,
Right. So having some sort of assistant would be helpful since we're
Um,
not experts.
yes, this assistant I will say is quite good with confidentiality, and quite good with being easy to deal with.
Okay. And
But
what's the price on that?
let's talk about budget first.
Well, we're not really rolling in it, but perhaps we could do a couple of jobs while we're here to help raise some funds.
I mean, yeah. So the amount of explosives you're looking at, depending on which one you go with, is going to run you between, at the low end, about 20,000, at the high end, about 100.
What about the? Can we just? What about parts? Can we buy the parts and assemble them? Would that be cheaper?
I mean,
You don't assemble explosive Greeks.
you can assemble a bomb,
Bomb.
but then you get the bomb you assembled. My expert can guide you through it, and I guarantee is at the best possible rate of only 5,000 for a 3-day mission. Now, if you're looking for things to ease the burden, depending on your timeline, I do have a thing that needs a couple of people on standby. And if everything goes right with that job, simple. You just stand in an area. If everything goes right, you don't have to do anything. But if things go wrong, there's a bonus depending on what you recover.
All right. Because Greeks, I really only want to do this job once, and we have 2 locations. The other location will be really difficult for various reasons. So we want to do this right.
Now, I did give you the high at 100. You're actually looking at about like 30, 35 if you go the more reliable route. The Naruni explosives will be more powerful, and about 30, 35 with the 35 with the 35k with the assistant. Need a calculator real quick. 35000 times 0.05 equals, and then another 1.75 as my fee. Now, if you're looking to do this one job, that will more than cover the fee. And if something does go wrong on the job, there's a potential to reap a substantial reward.
Well, being able to get good equipment, reliable, and possibly not spend credits. That sounds.
I will say, you could work for me and do this job, or one of the other jobs on the board. We've got bounties always needing hunting. There's always someone done someone wrong that needs fixing. There's you could go into debt with Naruni. I do not. I do
No.
not.
No.
Thank you. But their product is quite good if you can afford it. And especially in cases such as an implosion, will probably be more effective than, say, the recovered fusion blocks from the coalition source.
Yeah.
And by coalition source, I mean people who have stolen from a coalition depot.
Peppermint, what are you thinking?
I mean, it sounds like a good idea to me to do this job. If it's supposed to be as simple as it sounds, could be an easy way for us to pass the time at least.
For the three of you covering a sector, that will be 3,000 for, let's say, 4 hours of work. And if nothing happens, you collect your pay and go. You seem capable enough. Your contact says you're reliable, and I believe them. I'm not familiar with all of what you can do. I don't need to know. I don't want to know.
All right. Where do we need to be and when?
All right. Let me get you the. I'll get the details to your device. So,
All right.
it's going to be about an hour and a half.
All right.
And then you'll get the location, and you'll have enough time to travel there before anything could potentially happen. All right. I'll put you down. Have a nice day. We got a special on peppermint mochas with goji berries. They are the weirdest looking berry I've ever seen. They look like little corkscrew pastas, except they are just the juiciest, most delicious berries. All right, have a great one.
You too.
The place has a lot of talk happening. He goes, he goes back to the barista, leans over, says some things to her. She nods, puts it into the cash register, puts a bunch of things into the cash register, comes over to your table, puts down a receipt, and walks back. And the place is pretty full. A lot of people chatting around.
I haven't been able to have this coffee and these pastries in a while, so I just kind of would like to take a moment to savor my quote unquote hometown fare.
Yeah, everything here is well made. The town has good running water. The coffee is well made. The coffee is imported directly via ley line from parts of South America unknown. And yeah, baking is done on premises as well.
Yes.
You do hear eventually at some point a singer comes with a guitar to sit in one of the corners and starts singing a song, and then people start throwing like half a Danish at them.
Oh, I've missed that.
It's kind of a rite of passage for local performers.
Yes.
So as the afternoon goes, do you want to do anything before you head to the coordinates that you will be given?
How much time we have?
About an hour and a half.
Now I have everything I need.
I think I'm good right now.
All right. So, a little bit of time passes. You meet up. There is a movie theater, but you don't have time for that. there's your device gives you coordinates just not about 50 miles outside of town where you can get fast enough. And it gives you a basically 10-mile radius that you're supposed to wait inside of, preferably at the center. Because, and and it will say more information when you arrive. Possible search and recovery if necessary. Combat potential medium on this mission.
All right.
Okay. As you get into position, your thing goes off again. You're a little bit outside of town, but this has been specifically sent to your device via a kind of focused beam. And it says, "Thank you for your assistance in this matter. Merktown State Bank and Insurance Company will gladly provide you, or is providing coverage just in a new test flight of an aircraft. Should anything happen to the aircraft and it land in your area, immediate relief response would be required from you. The following are priorities in any recovery, all of which are blacked out right now. Any material recovered will result in invaluable bonuses. Please stand by." You're standing there for about 20 minutes. Nothing's really happening. It's nice to be out in nature. You are really just out in the middle of nowhere. There's trees. It's not so heavy you can't see the sky. There's the occasional bit of wildlife, but to be honest, they don't really bother with peppermint. And so kind of ignore the other two. You do see what looks to be a big lynx just kind of like walk up next to Peppermint, look up at her, and just like walk past. The day is pretty clear. The sky is not cloudy at all. You're not on a nexus point. You're not at a ley line. There's one 50 miles away, but, that's back in Merktown. But you do suddenly hear a sound. A sound of something flying very quickly, and you can barely make out a black dot coming kind of across the sky. When suddenly a bolt of lightning erupts from the ground, hits it. You see a wing go shearing off of what is clearly some kind of aircraft, and as it gets closer and closer towards you, it looks like it's coming down into your quadrant that you're supposed to be patrolling. And as it flies above you, you see what looks to be some kind of black pod with two black wings, looks like legs folded up underneath it, and one of the wings is sheared off, and there is kind of a bit of pinkness among the wiring as this thing goes flying past and then crashes not 5 miles away from you. Your thing immediately recovers. Ping! Bonuses in this priority. Pink organic material. Device black box. Computer. Metallic parts. Personnel. And then you hear another thing flying, and it looks to be a series of rocket cycles painted with lightning bolts on them and all kinds of wings like etched on the side. And Freya, you've heard of this gang. This gang is a bunch of scrappers called the Vultures, and it looks like they're coming in fast to your location. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break.
All right. Yeah. Alrighty then.
Alright.
So, we'll be gone for about 10-15 minutes. Make sure to get up and get yourself a snack, something to drink, stretch, whatever you need to do. And if you find yourself in need of time, we do have a new merch link, so don't be afraid to check that out. We'll see you when we get back.
All right.
Bye. Hello, everyone. We are back.
Hello. All right. We return with the group, having taken a mission to do Overwatch on an area that turned out to be some kind of testing site for some kind of aircraft. The aircraft did indeed fall into their radius. And they are to recover in the following order: goo. What was it? 1, pink goo. 2, was it black box?
Yeah, black box, then computer, then metallic pieces, and then personnel was last.
Yes. Let's see. And it says, a description of your group has been sent to our personnel. They should probably, while armed, they should probably be trying to find you as well.
So when this happens, Freya's going to give, like
Double N.
a heads up to what's going on. And then she wants to go. She's not comfortable changing into Rohan in front of everyone, but she wants to like go behind the trees, change into Rohan, and then have Rohan cast splitting image. So that way we have Rohan and Freya.
Okay. Rohan comes out of one area. Oh, also, I forgot to mention when we came back that a group of a gang called the Vultures is swooping in, looking to claim the scrap. They may, in fact, be responsible for taking down the thing. So yes, Freya passes behind a tree, and Rohan walks out the other side of it. Like it's the classic, like walking this way, and then Rohan walks that way.
And then a few seconds later, like Rohan, and then there's Freya on the other side of the tree.
Yeah. It's a little Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Okay, so what tactic would you like to... you've got bad guys coming in. You've got a ship down about 5 miles away from you. And Freya can move super fast. Greeks can move very fast. And Peppermint can move about... we'll just put Peppermint at Greeks' speed.
Okay.
And Freya's got a hover bike as well.
Yeah, we got the
So
hover.
Peppermint could just jump on the hover bike.
Yeah, it would probably be easier than taking my horse.
Yeah, your horse, you
Yeah.
give your horse the series of like back to town gestures to make it, it
Yeah.
wanders back towards town.
I can have like Rohan fly to run intercept with the biker people as we go towards the crash site, perhaps. Does that sound?
Sound good, everybody?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Let's see. Okay. So, you are all making your way there pretty easily. Someone give me a navigation to get you there. To travel over this land. A land nav, a navigation, either. I know you're all capable of it. As long as your dice stay somewhere in your general vicinity.
I got 32 under 44.
Nice.
I got a 79.
All right. Rohan's definitely just heading straight for the vultures, which is easier. Freya is pretty able to navigate the distance between here and the actual crash site very easily, without the terrain giving you any problems. Peppermint, can you roll me some kind of animal check? Because this area does have wild animals.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, 7 under 50.
Okay, so you know all the bad animals in this area, including the less than normal ones. And It happens to not be the season where they get all riled up. Several different things have the same mating season in this area, and it kind of turns it into an uninhabitable place for anything bigger than like a 4/10. As a brontosaurus like stampede runs through, and a series of what are they called? Sky mantas tend to nest in this area during the summer. Before headed south during the winter. They are a weird creature. And even the normal wildlife is pretty tame at this time of year. So
Okay.
you're not going to have any local problems. All right. As you come upon the crash site, you see there is 3 people. So you see the smoke coming up. There's a large amount of smoke. There is the basically fighter jet like sized pod, and there are 3. There are 2 people standing outside of it. One of which is wearing a orange flight suit with a white helmet with stripes painted on it, and a weird logo. They are dressed like an X-wing pilot, holding up a blaster pistol, going. The first thing they do is yell, I must inform you that I am not pink goo. Next to them is a woman with her hair up, or actually she has super short hair. She's also wearing a like more military style fighter helmet. She's got dark skin, and you can tell that her eyes are somewhat mechanical, and she is like trying to move part of the jet, and underneath part of what used to be the cockpit is a third person that looks to be another man who is a little more heavy set, a little more rounder, white skin, and it's hard to tell from here, but he's probably pinned under there.
Can I want to cast what is it? Strength of Earth?
Okay.
Strength of the Earth? Yeah, so I consume a pinch of dirt and it turns my physical strength into supernatural strength.
All right, what is your normal PS?
9.
9. So you're normally not a strong person. You're not like weak, but this is something you've never seen Peppermint do before. You want to lift up part of the
Yes.
thing? All right. There is fire coming out of it still. It is going to be hot, but not damaging to be where you are to move it off of the gentleman if you'd like.
Yeah, that's what I would like to do.
All right. As you pick it up, he is bleeding a lot. Clearly, one of his legs is mostly cut. And you see what looks to be a bit of juicer harness on him. But, most likely, looking at his limb, you don't know you don't know that limb's long for this world.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get him away from the wreckage a little bit and then start doing first aid to keep him alive at least.
Okay, give me that first aid roll. He is heavy, but with your supernatural strength, you carry him easily.
46 under 50.
All right.
Under 55.
So you stop the immediate bleeding. You can tell that his juicer harness system is working at like full capacity. And Do you have paramedic or just first aid?
I just have first aid. I do have
Okay.
some
Holistic medicine.
some medical doctor and stuff, but I feel
Yeah,
like
that
first aid would
requires
apply
time.
more. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have stopped the bleeding from his leg. It will require a tourniquet, but you are adept at putting those on. During this time, the let's call it a jet fighter starts sputtering out with kind of a purplish flame coming out of some of it. Kind of bleeding out of the side is that pinkish goo. And then there is computer wiring all throughout it. And because it's been damaged, you can see that at some points the wiring has been exposed and the pink glue touches the wire directly.
Is there any way to put out the fire?
How would you do that? I mean, there's no one has a fire extinguisher handy. Actually, you do see the remains of a fire extinguisher smashed on a rock, like at such speed, and
Great.
you know the foam of it has been shattered across the ground. The one guy with a gun seems to be kind of like panicking, kind of pointing it at you, but like not entirely sure.
We're here to help. Okay? We're here to protect you. We're here to we're part of the recovery team.
Recovery team?
Yes.
I'm not pink goo. That's the first thing they told us to say. We are not pink goo.
I know we're going to recover pink goo. I'm Freya. Friend Peppermint is tending to your other person.
They look over for the first time and just look astounded. They go, Calvin! Oh god, Calvin! On their tag, you see a thing that says Pope.
Okay.
And the woman's jumpsuit says gun.
And then it's like, is there any way to save? Like, how can we recover this safely? Got your friend going. Yeah.
All right. Protocol. Do you have a innate trust skill? I think you do.
Yes, I do. I have plausibility and sincerity and such.
Give me a sincerity, because this is a person who is freaking out, and calming them down will go a long way towards, things no longer being as bad.
I got a 52 under 73.
All right. He starts to calm down. You can tell like his initial just massive panic attack is starting to release his hold of him a little. And he's like, okay. All right, recovery kit. Oh shit, it's in the back left hatch. Come around this way. And as you go, he takes you to the other side of it. There is part of it sticking like in the ground, and part of it not on fire, where the part of it is on fire right below it. He goes, all right, can someone pop the hatch? I mean, I don't, you see there is a box, like a physical lock key with an electronic pad next to it, that says, emergency. Painted in big red letters on the black side of it.
Okay, so we need to like open that and...
Yeah. Should I open it? Should I?
It's okay. We're here to help. And I'm here. You can open it.
the woman goes, "God damn it, Alfred! Just tell them the damn code and have them open it." He goes, 472, 472. It's 472.
4782. Thank you very much.
I remembered it because it rhymes with I am not Pinku.
That's great job.
Yeah. You go up to it. It is very hot. As you go to touch it, before you can get your fingers to it, you can feel that it is burning hot.
Ooh. Oh, wow. I'm going to be like,
Reeks is there as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Reeks was hovering in their ship, but they didn't get close, like above the ship, and use a telemechanic mental operation.
All right, so spend the ISP.
Yep.
And it automatically, the box pops open in front of Freya. Out falls what looks to be a green laser gun. It is painted green. Actually, it looks more like a tube that has a laser at the end of it and like a bag float off the bottom. Like if you put a balloon on the bottom of a flashlight without blowing it up. And there is the black box in there.
Okay.
For all the telemetric data.
Right. Get the black box.
All right. And there is a bit of a fire extinguisher. You think it will probably reduce the flames, but this thing is still generating some kind of power, and you don't know how to shut it off.
Like, does the ship itself have any sort of fire suppressive systems?
The ship itself. So you're gonna hook into the whole ship. Okay, yes. Yeah. You hook into the whole ship. The whole ship is you get the readout in your head of it. It is some kind of experimental flight craft with some kind of minor transformative property with some weird goo you've never heard or seen of used as kind of a energy boost / suspension fluid / fuel / neurological interface. Yeah. And it is called the PC material. And you instantly know that the green thing is for containing PC materials, so no contamination occurs. The next thing in the manual is the fire suppression system has been triggered and did what it could to cool down the pilot compartment. But the PC the PC material, they did insufficient planning for the energy release that the PC would provide. The mechanical components seem to be calculating at a rate that is almost as fast as you. Yeah. You're as smart, like, you think computers are fast. You think fast. Mm-hmm. This is a little more than your average computer. So this isn't, like, going to spot every... it's not going to hit the last digit of pi. But it is quite adept at crunching numbers and is taking from the electrical power system. Give me some kind of diagnostics check, which, since you've been you've telemechanically hooked in, is at an 88%.
58.
58. Okay.
No, 38.
38, even better. All right. So you knew with the 58 that the system's in some kind of feedback loop. With the 38, you can tell that the system is in a feedback loop because it's trying to figure out what happened to it. Basically, it keeps trying to analyze the data and keeps coming up with an error telling it that there was no lightning in the area. I couldn't have been hit by lightning.
It's just a really, really, really fast computer. It's not AI, is it?
It seems to have some intelligence, but not the kind of intelligence that would resist anything you do. Like, it doesn't fight you. It seems to have some rudimentary, like, 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, therefore, kind of thinking. It's not an AI, but it is a simulated intelligence, I think. It doesn't have, like, it would not develop a personality for, like, 100 years if you left it running the whole time.
Well, I'll power it down so it won't overheat and make.
All right, give me a hacking roll to input the command that weather conditions include possible lightning.
Ooh, 72.
And you're working with an 88 because you're currently telemechanicked in. So you do manage to give it a you replace its weather forecast with one that says sudden thunderstorms possible, which causes the logic circuit to kind of accept it. And the green flames or the purplish flames that are coming off part of it start to die down. It's getting cooler and cooler.
Okay.
Also, give me a d20 roll while you're in the system.
Okay. A 9.
Okay. You do see that there is one other compartment that that is shown as ejected.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you really notice. All right. Freya,
Yes.
you take that weird thing. What do you do with it? You've got the green ray in your hand.
I start collecting pink goo.
All right, so you use it like a flashlight. You basically point it at it.
Yeah.
And the goo kind of dematerializes, and the bag starts getting heavier.
Okay. Sure.
Let's see. At
Goo
this point,
vacuum.
yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, Peppermint, the woman is helping you stabilize Calvin, his name was.
Okay.
His jumpsuit says Wickin, Wiccan. And she goes, all right, thank God you showed up. All right, they're gonna be on their way any minute now. We knew this was a dangerous run, but the bike didn't eject, and I don't know how to get all 3 of us on it.
The bike?
At this point, you asked that question, and then we cut over to, for drama's sake, Rohan. There are 4 rocket bikes flying at you.
Yes.
On each of them is a helmeted rider with a big, fluffy white collar of feathers around a leather jacket and a black helmet with like an orange stripe, like orange thing on their helmet.
Mhm.
Oh no, it'd be like a tan helmet with an orange like triangle where a beak would be. They are coming up on you, and one of them, all their rocket bikes are a little bit different, but one of them you start to see the little round thing that shoots bullets start to speed up in a circle. Would you care to engage them?
Of course.
Okay, so roll initiative.
I would like to scare them as well.
Ah, yes, that will happen. So as they come upon you, they see you, they register you, and you give them your terrifying glory. That's a 1. That's a 6. That's a 20. And that's a 13. Does 13 beat it?
No, 12. I'm at 12 right now.
Okay, so 2 of them made it. 1 is just straight. Like, no. All right. 1, 2, 3. 3, skirt. 1 and 2 are bothered, but not stopping.
I got 14 initiative.
All right. And they got a 9. All right, so what do you do? There are 3 of them still coming at you.
Is
on
there
rock
one
bikes.
in the lead?
They are flying in kind of a triangle with the 4th one was like, you know how geese do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's like, nope.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to go to the leader and hit it.
Okay. It is a flying hover cycle. This is a little harder to hit it with a trained pilot. They are going to attempt to dodge you. They are moving at approximately 80 miles an hour. Giving them a couple more bonuses, yes. Go ahead and roll your to hit.
31.
All right, they have a chance because these are trained hoverbike pilots on a hoverbike moving very quickly. And a 14 plus 10 is not going to do it. No, not 10 plus 12. Still doesn't do it.
28 damage.
28 damage to the hover cycle. Okay. You crash into the hover cycle with a mighty blow. It takes a big chunk out of the front of it. The front is pretty well armored though. You haven't stopped it. But 28 damage isn't enough to, it's enough to make the guy register the crash and go flying off of you at a bit of an angle. But you may take a second action if you like.
So assessing the situation, would it be, because Rohan would know tactics, is it more tactical for him to hit it again or to go after?
If Rohan is trying to proc aggro,
yes,
you might want to hit a second one, because
hit the second one. Yeah,
tactically, some things, if you hit their leader, all of them will come after you. This does not seem like that kind of pack.
I got a natural 20.
Okay, it can't dodge that. Your damage is doubled on the second guy.
Does that include the damage bonus or just the dice?
Just the dice. It probably changes every time, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
30, 46.
46 on number 2. All right. You smash into his bike hard. His bike's front armor is good. That's not going to stop his bike, but that is definitely going to put a dent in it. Yep, that's what it is. Oh. This is a guy who likes speed more than he likes anything else, so his bike looks bad. His bike looks real bad after that. The other one of the other ones has more of a number 1 has a more sturdy piece, but number 2 looks like they're more built for speed. And number 3 is basically like number 2. Freya's not here, so she can't see them. So she, with her intelligence briefings, you can roll at half your intelligence to see if you know what the models are, if you care. Or you can just keep hitting them.
I keep hitting. Can I hit again?
That's 2. Now they get to do a thing.
Yes.
All right. Number 1 is going to unleash a Gatling laser with an 18 plus 4 to hit. Does that hit you?
Well,
a 22.
Yeah.
Are you going to attempt to dodge, or?
Dodging takes an action, correct?
Yes, it does.
I'll take it.
Okay, this is a double shot from the Gatling, particle Gatling. And so that is... Oh. That is 50 MDC.
Okay. I'm in
Big
it.
hit.
I've taken it before.
And that's a 3, damn it. Okay, the next shot from it just misses you entirely. The second guy has a heavy ball laser. What the hell is a heavy ball laser? And rolls a 9 to hit you. Just gonna take it and attempt to do something. You can attempt to roll with this one.
I can roll.
If you... Yeah, you can roll with hit on this one.
Is that action or is that just I can?
It is not an action, but it can potentially half the damage if you get above a 10.
All right. So is that roll with impact?
Yes.
Is that using
Because you're kind of deflecting, you're putting the impact mostly off of you.
a 10?
Alright, you got enough to reduce this by half. That's 8 plus 4 is 12. This one's only 12 MDC. This guy doesn't hit as hard.
Okay.
Alright. Third one's gonna shoot at you when I drop my dice. There it goes.
So the third one recovered from the horror factor?
Oh, no, the third one, that's right. The third one loses his first 2 actions. Alright. Good point. Back at the campsite, we come back to Peppermint saying, "What bike?" And, the woman with Pope on her jumpsuit says, "The damn skate bike. It was supposed to pop out and hit the ground before us so that we had to wait out." You notice she also has, like, some harness on her. A light harness on her as well.
Okay, Greeks, there's supposed to be some kind of escape bike that was supposed to pop out of the ship.
Oh. Greeks will go look for it.
Alright, Greeks, that compartment that was supposed to be open?
Yeah.
It didn't actually open.
Oh, so it's still in there.
Yep. Probably.
Yeah. That escape bike is still in. Didn't escape. It's still still in there.
Can you get it out?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. The electronics show it being open. So the electronic latch has been unlocked. The physical latch is probably unlocked. It's just jammed.
It might be jammed. Thinking you can open it from down there.
So has Freya collected all the goo?
Frey, the bag is full. There is no second bag. There does seem to be a little bit left, and you noticed as you were vacuuming it in, every now and then, actually only once, did you get a tiny, what looked like a sunflower seed popped in. And after the sunflower seed popped in, the bag seemed twice as heavy.
Okay. That's interesting. Is there like, do I spot where the escape bike should be?
Yes, there is what looks to be another compartment. Like, if you were just looking at it, it just looked like fancy lines. But if you figure, now that you know there's supposed to be an escape bike, roughly the size of a small hover cycle, a panel that is just slightly bent.
Is there any way I can open it, or?
How would you try? That's the question.
Is it too hot to touch? Or...
now that the fire is not actively there, actually you couldn't see this when the fire was going. So it is still hot, I wouldn't recommend touching it with bare hands, but if you're wearing like any kind of protective gloves, you might be able to. But it will also be hard to move.
Yeah, I don't think I could get this myself. It's hot and gotta open it. I mean, I'm not weak, but I'm not that strong.
Okay. Pope, stay with him. Watch him. Shout if anything goes wrong, and Peppermint.
She goes, his harness will start beeping super loud.
Okay. Good.
He's old, but he'll live. Probably.
And Peppermint will go over to assist Freya with this door.
All right. Roll a d20 real quick. I just want to have a thought.
One.
Okay. So you walk right up to it with your bare hands. You are not an MDC creature.
No.
You do have MDC armor, however. While it is not currently on fire, you do take 12 MDC off your armor.
Okay.
You have a magic armor, I believe, that kind of shimmers.
Yes.
This is fire damage. It is not currently on fire, but it is heat damage.
Right.
But you managed to get it moved about halfway open to where you can see that there is a bike in there. And you can see the mechanism that's kind of supposed to have the spring that did not trigger. So, how would you try to trigger that?
I want to describe to Greeks what we see, because
Greeks is the mechanic.
yes, Freya can be like, well, maybe if I kick that, maybe I should ask Greeks before I kick. You know what, Greeks? I should ask you about this before I kick it. What should we do?
Give me a basic mechanics, or anyone can give me a basic mechanics if you got basic mechanics. I'm gonna say basic mechanics seems a little out of Peppermint's zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only got basic electronics and math.
Roll half your basic electronics.
I got 76.
You got 76, but you can roll on your engineering instead. So roll on your engineering instead of basic mechanics.
Oh my goodness, I got a 10. My basic electronics is 40, so half is 20, and
yeah.
Wow.
Keep rolling 70s. 78.
Greeks keeps trying to. You keep seeing the electric thing pop as Greeks continuously triggers the eject option, hoping this time it will take. But Freya sees a shard of metal roughly 3 feet long, and jams it in there hard enough that it triggers the thing. Now roll with impact, Freya.
Sure.
As the bike, which is intended to be ejected at some altitude, violently ejects.
On the ground.
One. Oh, Freya's going to take this to the face because I got a natural one.
Is.
Rohan gets a 20. No. Freya gets a 1.
All right, you are an SDC creature. Yeah. This will deal 6, 12, plus 7, 19 SDC, no matter what your armor is, because this is just blunt impact.
Ow. Praise God. Let you know. Like, ow.
Now, here's the thing. You've all seen Rohan take hits from, like, demons and not care. Freya is not Rohan.
No.
Nope.
I got it. I got.
The bike comes popping out violently and slides about 100 feet away. It is basically 2 wheels, a motor, a set of handlebars, and like 1 small cargo thing.
Peppermint will produce some kind of cotton wad or something for
Yes. There
For
are
the
certain cotton
nose
products
and-
that are perfect for staunching blood in the nose. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That was on the list, was it?
What? Well, I guess that counts as material. Okay, cutting back to Rohan. There's
Yes.
the one big bike and the two smaller ones. Number 2 looks pretty bad. Number 1 looks like it's taken a hit.
Which one is still determined to?
Number 3 is kind of getting their wits about them. Number 1 looks like it's going to fight you. You're not sure what number 2 is going to do.
I want to go. Can I tell which one the leader is?
Number 1 is definitely the leader.
I'm gonna go after the leader this time.
Got you.
Rohan's page.
Now, here's the question. Rohan is another flying combatant. Would Rohan like to make a called shot attack? At a -3?
Sure.
Okay. What would you like to try to specifically hit? You could go for different parts of the bike. This is not an enclosed armored bike.
There's a way that I can get my sword in to where it will like.
Run the engine, maybe? Or
Yeah.
are you
to
going
where
for a
it's-
wing?
Yeah, to get it out of the sky.
Okay. Rohan knows if you clip a wing, you could send it
Yes.
into, like... It could make it not impossible to fly, but certainly much, much harder. And of course, I didn't mark the damn page. There they are. Nope, that's coalition vehicles. No, I don't think we need the Joseph Prosick class aircraft carrier, thank you. There it is. Okay. All right. The main body is tougher. It's in the Juicer Uprising book, which is over there. Excuse me for one moment. Where's Juicer Uprising? There it is. Look down. Page 59. That's a helpful. The GM's guide's pretty helpful sometimes, which you would assume for most games. Except I got the page number wrong. What? To the index. So, it is a culture. So go ahead and make the. Did you make the roll?
Yeah, so it would have been 29, so -3 is 23.
All right. There's a chance. There's a chance. And it did not make that chance. All right.
26.
Where's that bike?
Rolled low. 9.
It's not
25.
listed in-
It's 25 damage.
25 damage directly to that component. Sorry. Yeah, it's got to be the misprint. Juicer Uprising, page 85. Juicer Uprising. Page 93, page 8. Oh, there it is. All right. Side-mounted laser pods. The pilot's windshield has 25. The forward-mounted beams, the P beams have 15 each. You have taken off. Where there should have been a side launcher. And they will take, and they immediately have to roll to not spin out and lose control. And they rolled a 17. All right. So that took an action for them to recover from the hit to the wing. That's 53. All right, another hit like that to the wing will probably cause them to have to head for
Yeah.
landing.
So can Rohan attack again?
Yes, if
Like
you
that?
like.
Okay, so 27 -3 is 24.
They are halved because of penalties, and they failed. Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage.
How far away is this happening?
About a mile away, maybe a half mile.
Another 25 worth of damage.
All right, you clip that wing off. They have lost a laser, and they can still fly, but you don't know exactly what they're going to do.
All right.
The rocket bike, and it is now their turn. So the rocket bike goes zooming forward. They no longer have the double-barreled system that hit you the first time. It's gone now. It's down to one barrel. You basically halved their offensive power, and gave them and halved their bonuses. They're not saying things out loud, because why would they? They all have headsets. And you're moving very quickly. He attempts to shoot you with a 2 and a 19, which will add up to 22 at this point. So this will deal you 7, 8 plus 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 MDC. When there's only one gun, it is much less damage.
Yeah. I take it and do not look afraid.
Gotcha. The second one looks like they're going to rocket towards the other group. Greeks, do you want to roll initiative? Because he's in your firing range now.
Sure.
It sounded like that's what you wanted to do.
20.
All right, so you technically go first, I think. So you can take 2 actions right now if you want. You've been waiting for them to enter your range. And Peppermint, if you want to do anything shooting up the combatants, but it sounds like you got your hands full on the ground.
Yeah, I'll launch 2 mini missiles at the nearest one.
Okay. It will attempt to dodge with penalties. And that's a 6. Go ahead and roll your attack.
An 8 and a 6.
Is that with your 2 strike bonuses?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have computer? You have weapon systems, so that's another one, and then targeting operations. So one of them will explode in its proximity. The other is a complete miss. So roll half damage on one of them.
What's the damage?
On a standard mini missile.
Yeah.
One moment. I actually now have this somewhat bookmarked. No, I don't. That's a lie. We've determined that was a lie. All right. That is a short. Oh no, that is a mini missile, high explosive, 5d6. Maximum range is 1 mile.
Yep. So 16 half. 8.
8. That catches it and it rocks it, but it's not enough to break it. But it does mean that you are now the target. And you are going to take 1 attack from this thing's much smaller gun. And I rolled a 20. Of course I did. I take it you weren't going to dodge. So double-barreled heavy ball laser. Here we go.
Double ball laser.
8 plus 3 is 11. 22 damage. To your ship.
Okay.
Number 3 still doesn't have their wits about them. Okay. Back on the ground, the bike has ejected. Freya, Peppermint. You have 3 people, 1 bike, and whatever. And if you wanted to tell your horse to meet you over here, that's also fine. Or you could do something else if you have some way to, I don't know, do something. I don't know what you have, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I don't. Yeah, so how big is the bike? Is it just? Could it fit 2 healthy people?
No. It could fit 1.5 healthy persons. Comfortably. Uncomfortably, you might be able to jam a second one on there, but it won't be pleasant.
Okay. I think they might just have to jam themselves on there. So, Freya, we should get the 2 healthy ones on that bike and out of here. They might have to live with being uncomfortable for a moment.
I can do that. And she says, like, God damn it, Pope. Or, God damn it, Alfred. Yeah, oh, sorry, the woman is Gunn. Pope is the man. He's,
Oh.
God damn it, Alfred. Fine, you can ride in the back. He was, I'm sorry. He's like, she says, just shut up and get on the damn bike. She is trained to drive this thing, and as she gets onto it, just like sits on it, activates it, and kicks it on, and it hums like it's kind of in tune with her weirdly. And he climbs onto her back and wraps his arms around her midsection. She's like, "You're gonna enjoy this too damn much." And he looks confused and insulted and ashamed. It's weird. He looks weird. Yeah, they're like, toss me the green tube, she says.
Do you have room for it? Like, you have to drive and...
I can carry it.
Okay. Were we told, just for a pause, were we told that if, like, do we personally have to have it? Or, like, do they know that we're, like, helping them and that...
They know you have been assigned to that recovery.
And we're like, I'll just be like, you know what? You two are frazzled. Just go back to your rendezvous. We'll take care of the rest of the material and your friend. We're
She
good.
sees the ships coming and is like, fine, and kicks the bike off.
And then I guess I would like to whistle for my horrors.
All right, you whistle like a professional whistler. Because there are those people who can, like, whistle through the neighborhood. Yeah. You do the 2-finger blast.
Yeah.
And you know your horse... What was that?
So maybe she doesn't even need fingers.
All right, so the horse is on its way, but might be a little bit of time.
Right. That makes sense.
Freya does have her bike. With room for one more.
Yeah, so... Well, because his leg was...
It's basically gone. Like, to be honest, amputation is going to happen to his leg.
Right.
Without magic, amputation is going to happen.
Which means, and I would need more time and a lot of other stuff to be able to save his leg with magic.
You don't have a river.
Right. And, so...
Well...
We need to... I would think to easily move him, we would need to make some kind of stretcher or something, because he's not going to be able to stay on a bike. Or even a horse, really.
I mean, you can strap him to the back of, like, Freya.
True.
It won't be a good, comfortable, or fun ride, and blood loss may occur, but... you do hear a humming sound as the tubes start kicking in. And give me a medicine check.
Alright. That's 63. my holistic medicine is 60, and my medical doctor looks like it's 70.
Okay, so this is medical doctor training. This is a thing you've encountered very rarely. You haven't used your medical doctor stuff nearly as much as your holistic. But you see on the basic readout on their harness, you know to open the shirt and find basically it looks like a Tony Stark chest plate, except it has a medical readout on it in emergencies. And this one you can see that it says trying to remember the initialism. It's the RMSS active. You know that there are now, currently this thing is unleashed a payload of nanomachines to begin stabilization.
Okay.
This person will go into shock and pass out, but they will have a massive chance. Like, the roll against death in this is save versus coma, and their save versus coma just went up by like 40%, and they're already a juicer.
Okay.
So there's practically no chance of them dying unless something bad happens and changes that.
Fred, do you think you can drive your bike if we tie him to you?
Yeah. So okay, we got the pink goo. We got the black box, right?
Yeah, the black box is actually an orange box that says black box in big black letters on it. It is roughly the size of a toolbox. Like,
okay. Did we get the computer?
You did not remove any computer parts of it. I mean, computer technically means two things, hardware and software. Freya doesn't know... Well, Freya might know a bit about the two, but...
Freya's going to ask Greeks. It's like, okay, so we got the pink goo, the black thing. Do you know how to get like the computer and any sort of metallic things? Or I don't know if that means an actual computer or copying programs.
Copy programs will be copying the that would be easier than removing the actual electronics.
Would require you to physically be in the cockpit. Do you want to try to tell her how to do that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So Freya can roll at a half of Greek's computer repair or electronic engineer skill.
I'm rolling my 100.
Yeah. And what is Greek's electrical engineer?
They're both at 64.
All right.
I got a 55.
All right. So you get a bunch of wires, and there is a chance you have something useful.
I do have basic electronics.
Well, then give me a roll in that basic electronics.
Well, that's 40, so...
Well, but give me a roll on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a 93. I got a bunch of wires.
I mean, you can sit there and keep trying, but that will take time while this thing is coming in on Greeks.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Rohan.
Yes.
It is your turn. Do you have action still?
Oh, yes. Yeah. They got 2 more.
Yeah, he does too. Oh, no, these things use dodges, so they... No, now it's dodges, no longer auto dodge. Gotcha. Yes. Go ahead.
So, which one
is... the one you are, like, actively engaged with in one-on-one combat is number 1, which you tore the wing off of, but is still, like, struggling to maneuver and taking massive penalties to it, but does seem to be coming at you still. Number 2 went for the main ship and is in a firefight with Greeks. Number 3 looks like they're going to try to circle around the side of Rohan.
So one is still... So the undamaged one is coming to its senses.
Yes.
I would like to attack the one that thinks it's going to be able to do something.
Okay.
So that thing. And that's another natural 20.
Of course. Bam. This is the counterpart to that 98 you just rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 40.
All right, so Rohan's massive sword, made of, is the sword the same material as the wings?
Yeah, and then some other sort of
Orangish
yeah. I mean, it looked
sheen.
yeah.
As it cleaves part of the bike, it smashes into the bike, knocking part of its engines off. It basically has like 3 engines on the back, and you've knocked one of them just clean off. It is still maneuvering, but will be taking massive penalties at this point. And it's your action. If you would like to take a second action.
Yeah, I can hit it again.
Okay.
That's 31.
31 will absolutely hit, yeah. Now that they have penalties, there's not much they can do against Rohan.
Uh, 31.
All right, that is enough. So you basically take out the second engine of the bike, and the bike could continue fighting, but you see the pilot just like jump backwards midair and start falling towards the forest. And as they hit the treetops, you see tiny jetpack kick on and rocket them like into the forest, into the trees, and it looks like they're probably going to try to get under the tree cover to escape Rohan. As that jet fighter goes, as that hover bike goes crashing into the ground. But number 1's coming around on you with a natural 3 and a 1, as it just shoots lasers from its single gun into the sky and does not hit you. Number 2 is coming in on Greeks with a 3, which is a complete miss. This dice is just rolled 4 threes in the last couple of rolls. All right. Laser blasts come raining down amongst Peppermint and Freya and Calvin. As I put a comma in his name. I shouldn't have put a comma in his name. I wrote 2 names, last name first, and then 1 name, first name, last name. Good job, self. Excellent note taking. So that's the enemies. Number 3 just continues to fuck off into the woods. Let me cross him out so I stop looking at him. All right. Greeks, go ahead. If you want to take a combat action.
The closest one
Is number 2 still engaging with you? Yeah.
Are they within 1,000 feet?
At this point, yes.
Fire my lasers then. While giving tech support to Freya. So 19.
That will absolutely hit.
And a 23.
Oh, Jesus. All right. That hits for a lot. All right. The ship takes a couple good hits and looks bad. Hoverbike number 2. 77. As your greenish bolts, I'm just going to say, because you're a good guy. The greenish bolts hit into the side of the bike as the red bolts go flying down, scattering near Freya and Peppermint. And your second attack, if you're taking it?
No, that was both my 2 hits.
Oh, okay. The 23 also hits as well. I thought that was damage. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's 12 points of damage and 3 ones and 9 points of damage.
All right. You nail it with bolts. It is still functional and still flying, but doesn't look as stable. As it is getting closer and closer to you. It looks like it's going to try to bank away. And we will go back to the people on the ground. Ground crew. Which also includes Greeks. What is the next thing you are doing? You do not have a lot of time before the fighting around the ship itself starts getting more and more intense.
What else do you
Freya-
need?
On Freya's communicator, there is a button that says, recovery completed, 300-foot radius. Or, sorry, 50-foot radius. There is a button that is basically flashing at you.
I push it.
A little pop-up says, "Are you sure?"
Are we sure that recovery's done here? We got the goo, got the black box.
You're mere feet from it.
Yeah. Computer, maybe? You want me to say yes? And so, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I click yes.
Greeks. You know before anyone else does that the self-destruct has been initiated.
Oh, jeez. Get
You may
away!
spend. Do you have any psychic powers that could, I don't know, slow down a timer? Maybe affect its operation?
Yeah. Yeah. Telemechanic paralysis.
Oh, telemechanic paralysis is perfect. So if you would like to do that, you may. You may also choose not to if you want.
No, I'm choosing to do it.
Okay. Greeks notices. We go into the computer world that Greeks inhabits, and they can see a new pop-up window that says the same thing we saw on Freya's communicator, and then the "Are you sure?" and then it gets clicked yes, and then you see a little line from it just going to a triangle exclamation point followed by an explosion symbol, like a nuclear cloud symbol, and there's a tiny line between the exclamation point and the bomb symbol, and Greeks manages to stop it right there.
Okay, we got 3 minutes, so we gotta get away. I can only hold it for 3 minutes.
By the way, you do remember that it said 50 feet. It said something finished, question mark, 50 feet.
50 feet.
Yeah. Or 50-foot radius, yeah.
50-foot radius. Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, we should leave. So yeah, grab pink goo, black box. Freya has whatever weird computer chippy wiry thing, some bits of something. But definitely got the goo in the box, kind of the computer and the personnel. So
I think Peppermint's gonna just pick Calvin up in like a fireman's carry and tote him over to the bike.
Yeah. All right, so you get him onto the bike. You strap him in. You start headed back towards town. Peppermint's sure to be to get more than 50 feet away.
Yeah.
Greeks gets more than 50 feet away. The second bike looks like it's coming in. Now this will be a fun combat challenge. Greeks, do you want to make that second bike explode in this?
Oh, yeah.
So what you're basically going to do is a combat maneuver to like rope-a-dope them into flying right at it.
Yeah.
And as they would make like the bank turn to time it to trigger. So give me a dodge roll.
The
And
vehicle?
yeah, a dodge roll with a +2 from your bike or whatever bonuses your vehicle gives you. This is free of all other stuff.
13.
All right, that's enough to get them into position. Now, give me a percentile roll under your IQ.
Oh, it's a 10, so I mean 10 plus something, so it's under.
That'll do it. All right, because your IQ
10
is like 20.
Yeah, 28. So, yeah, 10
Jesus.
exactly.
Jesus. All right, 10. So you time it perfectly. As the swoop bike comes, or the hover bike comes swooping in at you, you do a roll to one direction and then fake out to the other side, so it looks like it's going to fly directly into it. This is a good enough pilot. They start to pull out, but as they get within 50 feet of it, 10 feet of, or 40 feet of it, 30 feet of it, 20 feet of it, 10 feet of it, and then you trigger it by letting... We basically see that triangle shape thing, a little Greek symbol, then the bomb. The Greek symbol, we'll just call it a little Greek's face, smiles and disappears. And then we see a bright white flash from where the pile of material used to be that was once this experimental thing. Right now, it is basically a ball of phosphorus. As the glow of it is like a second momentary sun. As the front part of the speeder bike was just starting to pull out and goes flying off into the distance with nothing attached to it. There is a massive shockwave. There is basically a perfect 50-foot sphere into the ground.
Oh, gosh. And then Rohan's going to make sure that the other one doesn't try to follow us.
Number 1, seeing the explosion and having taken so much damage, will attempt to get away.
Rohan just wants to make sure that they're not following us, and then we'll fly.
They pull off to the north. They seem to be giving up the chase on this one.
That's all Rohan cares about.
Yep. All right. The horse eventually comes galloping up.
Right, and the
Just
peppermint,
calm as hell. Like, what's up?
peppermint will climb on and follow into town.
All right. As the group gets back into town, you are met outside the city gates by a number of people in vans that as soon as you get close enough, you see they already have like guns drawn down on the two that you sent earlier, who are both on the ground. And they all have the symbol of the... What group was that? Oh my god, what group was that? Oh shit. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on this, but there is a specific group I wanted to mention. Larson's Brigade, I believe it was. No, they're not Larson's Brigade. Yeah, Larson's Brigade, who are a team of mercs that Freya has actually worked for as a like low-level janitor, and found their internal security surprisingly robust. And didn't, but as you pull up, you see that those two are on the ground, covered by Larson's Brigade. And it says, please deliver recovered goods to Commander Larson. Here's my mercenaries book. There it is. Larson's Brigade. You see a man in his... Oh, no, that's Braddock's Bad Boys. Not Larson's Brigade. Did I confuse Braddock's Bad Boys and Larson's Brigade again? God damn it. I always do that. How dare I not have my mercenary groups perfectly segmented in my head? Oh yeah, it's not Larson's Brigade. Never mind. No, hold on. That's the Shadow Warriors. Okay.
Too many groups.
Yeah. No, it's to Braddock's Bad Boys. A mercenary group will... You haven't worked for Braddock's Bad Boys. They don't have a office where the Colonel does. But, you deliver a... Wait, is Braddock Bad... Shit, there's too many of these teams. I mean, it's a whole book full of mercenaries. Why can't I keep them straight? Oh, Crow's Commandos? They're not terrible. Are they? No, they're not the worst. Unlike some of these other ones. I'm trying to find ones that won't murder you and take your goods. You know what? Braddock is unprincipled, but will not take your shit. Because he's been hired to do the job. So you see Braddock, a man in a leather jacket, standing calmly as he clearly is carrying a bunch of... He's wearing what looks to be Dead Boy armor, but repainted in green and brown camouflage. And a bunch of serial number filed off coalition guns. There is a lieutenant with... there's a what looks to be a female form next to him in armor as well. And a ogre. And a guy with a crazy-ass look in his eyes. And then a bunch of just, like, general commandos. And Braddock, or Larson, comes over and says... Looks at it and goes... You.
Yes.
Is he bleeding out? Because I'm trying to figure out where I know you from, and that might take a moment. As you
Not
ride
currently,
on the
but he's going to need...
horse.
He's going to need assistance.
Thanks, miss. Well, he nods over at the ogre, who walks over and goes, "Can I have him?" The ogre has big underjaw tusks and goes, "I better take him." Just grabs him, lifts him off the bike, puts the juicer over its arm. You're welcome. And the big ogre just walks over to one of those things, vans, which has like a medical setup in the back of it. They go, "All right, good work out there."
I'm Freya.
Yeah, I got that on the paperwork, but where do I know you from, Freya? Have we met before?
Have I?
It's up to you,
Right.
but he's a handsome man.
Probably passing.
Huh. All right. I got this wrong 5 different ways. This is Braddock. This is Braddock's Bad
Braddock's.
Boys.
Yeah.
Braddock is an attractive man. Larson is a psychotic half cyborg.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Braddock looks like this.
Oh.
Okay.
Braddock's assistant looks like that. Or Braddock's number 2 in command. She's a badass. That's Lieutenant Janet Braddock, who is his daughter.
Freya goes, we don't really know each other, but Janet.
Oh, Freya, how you doing?
Long
Yeah, they're
time.
good. Yeah. There's an
Got a-
awkward ass silence.
There's got a box. Okay, so this maybe computer part. Got a box and goo.
The ogre goes, "Phrasing. And Janet nods her head, and the guy who has the wild look in his eyes kind of twitches a little and goes over and give them to me. Give them to me.
Freya looks at Janet. Okay.
Give
And
them
so
to me, please.
Freya does.
Okay, thank you. Calms down. He takes them over and puts them in a different compartment. He goes, all right. Braddock comes up to you and goes, so, Freya, your payment is 3, 10, 10, 2, 1, 3. Well, no, that would be another 10. Okay, so hands you a cred chip. He says, there you go. That should be everything. Good work. I mean, I wish you could have gotten more of the stuff, but you got the important parts.
Thank you. And then Freya wants to know what's on the credit chip.
When Freya checks the credit chip, there is 33,000 on it. Oh, 36,000 on it, because you're 3,000 for just showing up. Because you got the pink goo, the black box, half a computer, enough to get some credit for the computer. Well, basically, the escape bike is 1/5 of the materials, and all 3 people.
Yeah.
So, the 3 people counted for about as much as the entirety of the pink goo.
Of course.
I love how, yeah. Yep. Corporations got their priorities. And they go, clearly, you didn't see anything, and I guess have a good day. Good work.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Hold
up my moonshine.
you hold up your moonshine and go, ah. It's like the guy with the crazy eye goes, yes. Delicious stuff. Janet saunters over and goes, so, how's things?
Interesting.
It's not a boring place.
No. How are you doing?
And with that, we're going to cut for the night. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good job, team. Good responding to the massive, small prompts that I was throwing at you. Just being like, now this is happening. Now this is happening. Yeah, I like that. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. So, let's go around and give our outros, starting with Peppermint.
Hi, I am Nerdy Teddy. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Teddy. You can also find me in the Nerds with Dice Discord, and you can find me on the channel usually 3 times a week for this, Beyond the Void, and Millennium Nights, Turbo Jungle. You can also find some games and stuff that I wrote on my itch page, and yeah, that's everything for me.
All right. Thank you so much. Freya.
Hi, I'm Michelle Ely. You can find me on Twitter at Shell_game. I'm here, and then Wednesday, 6 p.m. every other Wednesday, McGardia playing Tales from Omeria. That's basically it right now.
All right. And Greeks.
Hey, I'm Ting. Follow me on Twitter at TingTut. All my other links are there. Tuesdays I'm here for the next few weeks. I'll be playing Ballad on the Asians Represent Twitch.
Nice.
And that's Wednesdays at 7 p.m. EST.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much. My name is Kevin. I've been your GM. And You can follow my wife's amazing knitwear patterns at lattesandllamas.com. And she's got a bunch of cool stuff coming up for the rest of the year. And you can follow Evan, who couldn't be here tonight. You can follow him at EvanJennings64, his amazing art. And so, hopefully we'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining us. And Nerdy, do we have a raid?
Yep, we'll be raiding our pals over at So Many Games. It is Trek Tuesday, so enjoy that, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.